story. So just to share with everybody what this session is about. Actually, it is a session for you guys to understand more about the coaches, right? So most of the time you see the coaches jumping up and down in front of the screen, teaching you how to do workout, how to blend shake, how to make how to make healthy smoothie. But do you guys know that all of us coaches here, we have our story, and then we are not hired to buy wellness experts or by Herbalife Nutrition to give training sessions or to be an instructor, okay? No, we are all actually independent coaches, but we all work together as a team, all right? So today will be my turn to share my little story with you guys. So are you guys able to see my screen? Okay, I have another device here to see all the chat. So I always love the session to be a little bit more interactive, because this session is not a training. It is definitely not a seminar, and then it's definitely not like some personal development courses, okay? But it's for us to really, have the up close and personal chance with all the coaches. And today, throughout the story, it may or may not inspire you in one way or another, or certain points, right? But hopefully, through the storytelling, it can give you a little bit of inspiration to face whatever you're going through, or if you could relate, that would be great. And then to give you some light, especially in this period of time, okay? So how many of you here actually heard my story before? You can type me in the chat. If you have no clue, you only see me in Lifestyle Hub before, you actually don't know what was my background, what did I used to do, all that, you can type 2. First time. Oh, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because it's been a while. I think the last time I shared was last year, no, maybe last year or a couple of months ago. So many of you first time, great. And the good news is that for those of you who heard my story before, today is not going to be the same. Yeah, I'll be sharing another side of the story. So without further ado, let me get started. And I've been a coach with wellness expert, like Jason said, for 9 years now. And then for me, I actually just really an ordinary girl, originally from Penang. Anybody from Penang here? Hello, nobody, anybody? I think we have somebody from Penang here, okay? And then, hi, I'm in a family of 6. I have 3 more siblings, and I'm actually the youngest in the family, all right? And then for my family, 3 generations, we are in art gallery business, okay? So meaning to say my grandfather, my dad, my uncles, they are all self-made artists. So in a way, what grew me is actually pieces and pieces of paintings, okay? So, but unfortunately, the talent didn't flow to me. So you're young, also youngest and only daughter, great. And then if you can tell from the picture, I'm slightly like the outcast, meaning to say everyone else is so grown up, and then I'm like so tiny there, right? Because my youngest sibling, okay, it's at least 8 years older than me. All right, so I'm really the different generation, like a different era. All right, but I want to ask you guys as well, how many of you, since you study in primary school and all that, you already know in your essay, you know what to write, what is your ambition, you know exactly what you wanted to become? Can you type it in the chat? What was your ambition when you were young? For my time, it's very typical: teacher, police, doctor. And then I think nowadays it will be different, yeah. Fashion designer, designer, 画家. Wow, okay. So to share with you guys, I didn't know anything. So even though when I wrote essay, it's just for the sake of homework submission. All throughout my younger days, I had no idea what I wanted to do or what I wanted to become. And the funny thing is, whenever I watch one TVB drama, oh, I'm like, okay, I want to be police when I watch a police show. And then when I watch like a counseling show, I'm like, oh, I want to be psychologist. And then luckily, I didn't think about wanting to be a fireman when I watched a fireman show, right? But that was me. Until high school, the couple of things that I thought I wanted to do was first cabin crew, but my parents said no, no. They have their mindset and thinking. And then the other one was psychologist, like a counselor. Yeah, because to be very frank with all of you, one of my family members, she used to suffer from depression, going through that. So as a family member, I firsthand experienced and also seen how important it is for someone to get help. And it's definitely out of their control. So since then, you know, the doctor will be the talk of the family, right? Because the person is so important. And then since then, I feel that, wow, this is like a very noble job. And then it's a very important role in this world. So then I thought, okay, why not I study psychology then? Okay. And another thing is, I wanted to ask you guys as well, what are you good at? Because this is my biggest question for years. And I'm talking up to 20 plus years as an adult. Reason being, I always look around my friends and I feel that everybody else is so talented. I'm surrounded with talented people, like either they are good at singing, they are good at dancing, they're good at designing, they're so good at cooking. And I keep wondering, what was my talent? what what am I actually good at? So can you guys type in the chat, what is your talent or what are you good at? Even you feel that you are good at it, you can type, okay? It doesn't mean that you have to be a singer to be good at singing, okay? Recognize your talent. This is your chance. So these questions remain unanswered. Sometimes I think until today, yeah. And honestly, I'm not sure. Yeah, somebody say also not sure, which is very, very normal. But I'm here to tell you guys that it's okay to not be exceptionally good in a particular field. It doesn't mean that you are a failure and you can't do anything. Okay. And then maybe I was thinking, okay, maybe I can dance a little bit and that's it. Yeah, a bit here and there. So for those of you, if you know what is your talent, what you're good at, and you're passionate about it, congratulations, because this is actually one of the most important thing in our life nowadays. Yeah, which is knowing your purpose and then knowing what you can offer as well. Yeah, so as life goes on, we continue being ordinary. And long story short, I pursued psychology in the end. And then, you know, not knowing what's going to happen or what I wanted, I just roll with life, if you know what I mean. It happens, I just roll with it. Okay, I'm going to college, you know, you're adulting, you're starting to need to make some income. And then I started to look for part-time income to sustain myself, study, graduate, and yada, yada. So when after I graduated, I actually interned in marriage counseling before, because that was my dream job, right? But little did I know that I didn't want to do that at all when I got into the environment. Okay, so I hope nobody is counselor here. Yeah? It's just me, because the moment I step into the center, I just feel that it's so gloomy and it's eating into your personal life, that you are feeling that way throughout the day and throughout the weeks and all that. So after 3 months, I know that this is not what I wanted, and I could help people in some other ways than sitting down, tell me your problems, especially about marriage. All right. And then the top photo is after I graduated. And then just for you guys to know, Coach Ryan was my best friend, is my best friend since college days. And we studied the same course, which is psychology. Okay. And even up until then, I still don't really know what I wanted to do after I graduate from psychology, because my friends around me, they are just so clear. They are talking about what center they want to apply to. And then like Coach Ryan, he got a sort of like a job way before me while I was still searching, interning, trying out counseling. And then whether do I want to go for masters? It's like at a crossroad. And meantime, I just look for experience. And then I was also looking into a marketing research industry after I quit the counseling, right? And that is around the same time where a couple of incidents happened. Because one day it's not so ordinary anymore, right? I'm so used to an ordinary life from young until adult, where I didn't really have to worry about things, which is quite blessed, right? But why I say so is because one day, my people who know me, they know that my family and my parents are my everything. Yeah, and then one day we found out that my mom was actually diagnosed with cancer, which is accidentally found out, right? So long story short, that time nobody know what to do, to be honest. No one is ever prepared for this kind of thing, right? But one thing I know is that I have to look for income, because when this kind of thing happen, you watch a movie and you know that you need a lot of income and a lot of burden and all that. So my first thought was that, okay, why not I look for some income? At least I don't have to burden my family, right? And then that is actually how I stumbled across this platform so many years ago. And then sometimes it still feel like yesterday. So I was searching through Facebook groups, advertisement, looking for a way to make money, not really a job, but like a really, really part-time. And that's when I know my coach, which is Jason and Maylee, because when you ask, universe will show you a sign. I was thinking sometimes if I log on to the Facebook 10 seconds later or 10 seconds earlier, I would have missed that advertisement, and I do not know where I will be right now, probably doing something else, right? I don't dare to think. So the advertisement says, if you are looking for a change, if you want to work from home, and if you want flexible hours, blah, 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 and PM, right? So a lot of people, to be very honest, when you see words like this, your first impression, be honest, what would be your first impression or first reaction? Most of the time, I get answers like, oh, it's a scam, it's a what scheme or whatever, right? But the good thing is that I was seriously looking for a way out that time. Because if I had that thought, I would have prejudged this advertisement and just scroll past it, right? So long story short, that's how I started my journey as a part-time coach. So if you realize, and from my before and after photo, which I will show later, I wasn't looking for ways to lose weight or get fit like 90% of you here, because I came in looking for a way out and an opportunity. And that is how I know wellness experts, that's how I know Herbalife, and the rest is history. So of course, as a coach, we also want to work on ourselves. That was me before. I was never overweight. My weight was only about 43 kg, but I was really, really unhealthy because I used to skip breakfast. My food is always mama, fast food, hawker food, alcohol. So because of that, sorry, my belly was always bloated, and I fall sick very, very often. And being so young and skinny, even climbing the stairs, I would pant. I needed to catch my breath. That's how weak I was. Yeah, fall asleep very easily, and then low energy throughout the day. Falling asleep in the class, you can ask, Coach Ryan was sitting next to me, and then we were in the first row, and I was falling asleep in class, okay? I was that kind of person. So when I learned about 80% nutrition and 20% exercise, that was my transformation. In fact, now I'm about 50 kg. So if you're here just new on your fitness journey, don't worry about kg, okay? You rather look like the right with 50 kg rather than on the left with 43 kg. But I'm really, really happy that I found a way to sustain what my results that I wanted for a very, very long time. All right. And also shortly after that, I took about, I think, couple of months or 1 year juggling between wanting to start the business, Herbalife business, as a part-time coach, wanting to start, yeah, and then also jumping into a new job in marketing research. So life is not fair. I love this, what I saw that day, and it never was, and it won't ever be. And it's so true. You don't have to wait for life to be fair, because it will never be fair. I mean, if right now you are going through some struggles, you are going through some uncertainties, I can tell you, you got to listen through the rest of the stories, okay? And don't fall into the trap, which is the entitlement trap, that you feel like you're a victim, because you are not, right? So throughout this 1 year and 2 months, it was my first and last official job, I would say. And then you may ask, since you're already in the business, why do you want to look for a job? Reason being, I wanted to feel how is it like having my cubicle, having to report to a boss, and then having colleagues, right? Just for experience. But I would say that if I didn't go for the job, I wouldn't come to appreciate what I'm doing now even more, right? And the bottom is the transportation mode that I use to go to work every day, which is taking KDM. And as you guys know, the public transport in Malaysia really, really isn't that great. Okay, so that was my lifestyle that time. Is it anything wrong with that? It depends on what you want and what you think, right? Some people are okay to go through this until they are 30, 40, 50. Just that for me, I think I wanted more and to be extraordinary. So if you hear someone breathing really hard, I'm so sorry, because my husband is like working out at the side here. Okay. And I think this would really relate with my journey as well, because most of the time we want to know until the very end. Tell me step 3, 4, 5, 6 until 9 and 10. Then only I decide if I want to do. How many of you are like that? If you don't want to admit, it's okay. But if you feel like, oh my God, that's me, you can type me in the chat. Okay? How many of you are like that? Be honest. I would say most of the people are like that. Tell me everything, then I will do. But don't focus on going from 0 to 100. Focus on going from 0 to 10, then 10 to 20, 20 to 40. All right. And then just like weight loss, sometimes you want to know what happened after you lost 20 kg when you haven't even lost 2 kg, right? So focus on losing that 2 kg, 4 kg, and so on first. Because if sometimes you know what you had to do and you would choose not to get started anyway, and you will still be, square one. That's what happens to life most of the time. Okay, build sustainable habits through gradual progression. It's the same, be it is your fitness journey or be it you trying to make a change in your life. And always the journey of growth is messy. So this one is fast forward 3 years, I think 3 years down the road of becoming a coach, where I think that time I was 25 years old. And we decided, me and Coach Ryan, we decided that we wanted to set up our own club, because it has always been our goal since day one. We were inspired by the concept of a lifestyle club, a nutrition club, but we were never ready. And then we wouldn't know what it takes or when will it be ready. But why we went ahead and make the decision was because that time the club that we were at in Publica had to move. So we decided to take up the responsibility to grow. And this is exactly what was happening before the opening of our club. How many of you been to TWC? You can type me, okay? This was how TWC was like before the version that you're seeing it now. Sometimes you don't even know what you sign up for. But that's the beauty of it, because if life was predictable, then it isn't life. Okay. And to share with you, me and Ryan, we were in a way naive, is that the right word? Because we didn't have any experience at all. We didn't have any 社会经验, okay, experience in the society. We were not in any business. We were not in, we were very simple and ordinary kiddo, if you get what I mean. We didn't know a lot of people. And then, yeah. So when we wanted to start a business, talking about construction stuff and all the layout, we were completely clueless, okay, clueless. But it made us grow so much to the journey. So that was the 3 years down the road. And it was messy, but this is how it turned out after that. Yeah, which is we started to set up the club. We run a breakfast club, and then we adding in the workout sessions as well. And slowly, we grew to about 100 packs as well. And then the club has been there since 2016. Yeah, so we're stepping into the fifth year now. Yeah, so the photo right here is, we really love it so much because this photo, it includes not just us coaches, but our family and our parents. So that's my parents, this is Coach Ryan's parents, where this is Jason Maylee, and then this is Jason and Maylee's parents, and then that's Benny, Yan, and everyone else. Yeah, so it's complete. Yeah, and everyone else was very, very happy with the setup of a club, and then the rest is history. So, but then again, it sounds like, very good, pretty much settled, right? You just do what you do, everything is done and settled. But guess what? Because it is life, it is unpredictable. So a couple of turning points also happened to me. If some of you came in through my Insta story of what I shared, then you know a sneak peek of what actually happened. So I would say that a couple of bad financial decisions put me into this, all right, which is the turning points, which now I appreciate it so much. So come one, come all. I really wish that time I had taken much more photos, but I just didn't. So I just had to use these photos to represent. What do I mean by that? It almost seems like all of these things had a talk that they decide to visit me together, right? I was in credit card debt that I couldn't even breathe. It's like max out all the time. Pay a little bit, use a little bit, max out. It was so bad. And when you are worried and focusing on the problem, trust me, more problems keep crawling to you. And then that time I will start questioning, 有冇搞錯啊? In Cantonese. And then it's like, are you freaking kidding me? I'm already in such a deep shit and this has to happen to me. Guess what? Lots of bills to be paid. And lots of things start to get spoiled that I have to spend money to fix it. Because that time I committed to a property that I want, it was for investment purpose, and my tenants moved out. So meaning to say, I had to pay the loan myself because I wasn't receiving any rental income. Correct? I had to pay the loan, and guess what? That year, I got into car accident 3 times, almost back to back, and I wasn't joking seriously. That time I feel like something is going wrong. No, something is very, very wrong. And the car accident, I wasn't talking about, oh, bang, and then I go workshop, I have money to fix and that's it, right? One of it was so bad that I won't go into a lot of details, but it was so bad that I was involved in a police issues or matter that I was threatened to be locked up in the middle of the night by myself, and I needed money to get out of it. So through that period of time, the situation is whatever income I had a little bit, it haven't even go into my pocket already, like go out. So I was really struggling real bad, and I didn't even tell anybody because not even my coaches or my best friends especially not my parents. Yeah. So what else is that is what I mean. It's easy for you to spot a red car when you're always thinking of a red car, and easy for you to spot opportunity when you're thinking of opportunity. Maybe that's why you're here today. And it's definitely easy to have more problems when you always focus on what is wrong, right? You become what you constantly think about. So you really have to watch even just that little voice that you tell yourself. Yeah. Another thing, I would say this is some of the aftermath of what happened to all these good friends visit. Okay, is that I couldn't have enough money to pump petrol. I still remember I opened up my wallet, and then my petrol was running low. And then, do you know how much I could afford to pump the petrol? Actually, I talk about this so many times. I don't know why sometimes when I talk about it, it brings me back to that situation. And I became extra grateful for whatever is going through right now. I still remember I pumped 10 ringgit petrol and then don't know how much this 10 ringgit is going to last me. And for those of you in KL, I stay in Sri Kembangan, and then I had to travel to PJ. So how long is the 10 ringgit gonna last? I really don't know. And then no money. And then I still remember one incident is that, the why I put a flight there. It wasn't because I aimed to travel, but that time I was in a long distance relationship with my boyfriend, currently my husband. Okay, I was in a long distance relationship, and then most of the time he would fly over, but of course sometimes I would have to go over as well. And I still remember that time I couldn't afford a flight ticket to fly over, and what I had to do, I had to sneakily use my mom's credit card, because my family sometimes they travel to KL quite a bit to visit us. So at that time they were in KL, to use her credit card to buy a flight ticket, and then that's how I go that time. That feeling, I remember I tried to key in a card, I couldn't get through because I didn't even have the amount or the limit, and we were just talking about few hundred ringgit. Yeah, try another card, also cannot. So that was exactly what happened. So how many of you here have watched the movie called The Pursuit of Happiness? You can type yes if yes. So if you haven't watched, I highly suggest you to watch the movie. But those of you who did, you remember what the person went through. But of course, I didn't go to the extent that like Chris Gardner, right? Didn't have a home to go back to, lost everything. But I truly understand his struggle and his despair, that there was nowhere else to go, and at such a deep valley, and everything else just fails on you. Yeah. um, so because of this platform, I learned enough about personal development, especially Jim Rohn. And the turning point in our life usually come at the moment of crisis, through which we are introduced to our other selves, right? Can you imagine, can I imagine, if none of this would have happened, I would still be the little girl who would never grow and always in the comfort zone, and then just stay comfortable and all that. But because of this series of things that I've gone through, I was introduced to my other selves, which is the version 2.0 or 3.0 of Hooili, right? So I always remember my first encounter with personal development is from Herbalife. Who was going to teach us about personal development in your job? I'm not too sure. Definitely not in school. Yeah. So for things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. So these two sentences, it's so simple and easy to understand, but it's not easy for everyone to be able to really do it. You have to change. You have to get better. For things to improve, you have to improve, because when you grow, everything else in life grows with you. right? But I didn't have anything else, but what I still have was my attitude. And that was how I actually started to work on it, and things started to change. So I want to ask you guys here, what is the first thing you do in the morning? Don't tell me drink aloe. Before you drink aloe, you should do something else. Or what is the first thing you say to yourself in the morning? This is very, very important. If you haven't got them, I highly suggest you um, to practice them. Yeah. And throughout all the big events, just like extravaganza that's coming out that we attend, we learn so much about personal development from all the special invited speakers. And it's stuck with me for years now that I would always start my day. First thing my brain is awake or my eyes is open, I would have a daily affirmation already. And I was super ready to go through every single day. And for some of you who know, first thing in the morning, I will not touch my phone. When you see me replying or appear in social media is when I'm already done with my morning routines and ready to go through the day. Yeah, wake up and exercise, no lah. Before exercise, I do a couple of morning routines. Okay, so it's up to you whether it's you want to meditate, whether you want to go for a walk, you want to just go out your balcony, take in some fresh air, or read your book. Okay. Of course, some of you may think, oh yeah, you think I have so much time. Well, time, you can make it happen, right? Everyone only has 24 hours. So it's about how we schedule our priorities, not how we chase after our schedule. Okay. So if you are feeling me and then you want to make a change, I highly suggest to start with looking into what you say to yourself all the time and what you think all the time, and especially how you start your day. All right. And this is truly, truly amazing because I walked through it and I experienced it. Who will you be in 5 years from now? It depends on the information you receive today, such as number one, the books you read. So I'm not asking you guys to drop whatever you're doing or to change everything you're doing now. But my message is for those of you, if you're seriously looking for a change for real in life, then these are the things that you have to give up sometimes. Are you reading comics? Or are you reading books that actually help you to grow your mindset, your skills? And the accounts you follow, and now I know social media now is so much fun, right? But the accounts you follow are the people that always talk about politics, always talk about scolding people about COVID, or are the accounts that actually help you to groom your mindset is very important. And the food you eat, I think this one I don't have to elaborate. Most of you here would know already, right? What's going to happen. And the people you spend time with, this is pretty sensitive, but it's so important. Why? Because you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If today you are looking to make a change and you needed an income of like 40,000, but the 5 people that you always hang out with, they are making an income of 8 to 10,000. I'm not asking you to choose friends based on how much they make, but think about it. If average is about 8 to 10,000, why would you be making 40,000? There is something that is missing. So you need to make friends with people who are making 40 and 50,000. Okay, not to be realistic or materialistic that way, but what you wanna do is to learn what are they doing, how are they thinking, what's their thought process like, what makes them be able to make that kind of income and change their life. And it's okay to distance yourself from people or friends who are no longer helping you to grow, if that's what you're looking at, a chance to grow. Right? Some people are good to hang out with as a company, but if you're looking for growth, you know who you should look for. Yeah. And the news you're exposed to, and to be honest, I don't listen to radio, I don't watch TV news, I don't even read newspaper. And then sometimes when we have conversation, people would be like, oh, I'm talking about this, that I would feel like, oh, I don't really know what's going on, all that. But it's okay, because why do I need to know? It doesn't directly affect me or directly affect my life. I have more important things to focus on. Okay, and why do you want to spend time on talking about news in other country that probably is not going to help you in any way, and you are wondering why you don't have time and why you're not growing, right? The conversations you engage in and the people you listen to, similar like what I shared earlier. Yeah, and also definitely this is not a financial cost that I'm sharing, okay, but through my journey of growth and experience, I learned that this is so important. Before you want to talk about wealth or changing lifestyle, first you have to understand financial literacy first. And these are the two books that I love a lot, and I think would be great for people who just want to get started to understand more about money. Yeah, how many of you grow up under the impression or influence that rich people are bad or money is the root of all evil? It does no good. Don't make too much, then blah blah blah. If you're in Asia, I think it's quite common. Yeah. So financial literacy. So most of the time, like myself, how I got into all these debts and then bad situation was because I didn't understand about financial or how to go about this. And this one, I've been doing this for so many years. And if you just starting to look how you can start to make a little bit of changes, you can try this out. This is by T. Half Ecker, which is the author of The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's definitely not from Hooili, okay? So even if today you only have 100 ringgit, you can start doing this. So money management is not for people who already, yeah, you have a lot of money, therefore you can manage your money. I don't have money to begin with. No, if you have 10 ringgit, start with this, because after you do this, 1 to 2 years down the road, you will be wow. Okay, I don't have so much time. Next time, maybe we can go a little bit more details into this. All right, and I'm truly grateful throughout this journey that I have a lot of mentors. So this is what I love about this platform, Herbalife Nutrition as well, because all these people, they have nothing to do with me, meaning to say, no matter how well or how poor I perform, it doesn't affect them at all. Okay, and then all of them, they are making six-figure income monthly, not yearly. So I feel blessed that I can make friends with these people that I look up to, the way how they view life, the way they handle, and their attitude, their mindset. So I'm learning so much from them. They're from all over the world, from Hong Kong, from Singapore, and yeah, willing to spend time with me when I have nothing to do with them. So truly grateful. And of course, after this series of storm and what do you call it, tornado, life-changing moments, it just become much more blissful, that you grew up so much. And this is one thing that I always love as well. If you haven't tried this before, you can take a screenshot and take it as a game. Play it with your coach, which is the Wheel of Life. Because in Wellness Experts and Herbalife Nutrition, we are puzzles, meaning to say, it's not just for people who want to lose weight or gain weight or make some part-time income. It's a lot of pieces or puzzles that fits into every single people's life. And then that is why our mission is not helping people to lose weight. The slogan, the slogan is making the world healthier and happier. Family and friends, how do you rate from 1 to 10? Are you giving yourself some consistent growth? How do you feel about your finances? So these finances doesn't mean if you have a lot of amount, then you should feel good. If you have very little amount, then you should put zero. No, it's how you feel about it. Even if you're able to pay every bill without worries, you probably feel like a 10, right? How's your intimate relationship with your loved ones? And this is also something I learned from this journey. Our life, our business is a reflection of our life. If you have a happy relationship, happy marriage, and everything happy, trust me, everything will grow. Yeah, and then your health and body, which is a big part of what we do. Are you also spending enough time for your spiritual health, um, emotional health? Because I just want sometimes to, remind everybody to take a step back. this, no matter how busy you are in your job, never forget to actually look at your emotional health, because there's only so much you can do. Okay, you are not a robot, you are human. Yeah. And your career and mission, and as well as contribution to the society. And also, which is why we wanted to do the Together We Rise charity campaign as a team. Yeah. And then also, how do you rate your fun and excitement? I remember my first time doing this, my fun and excitement was very, very little. Very, very low on the scale, and I wanted to make a change on that. So for me, someone who had no advantage and started from zero, I would say I'm pretty blessed to be given the chance to grow, because who am I? I'm just a girl from Penang, not even from fitness background or anything, but I got featured in a magazine, and it's not like a corner, it's like a whole page. All right. And then my parents like, oh, buy the magazine. So anyways, and that was my transformation as well. And that is another version of how I used to look like, besides the big belly, which is looking very, very undernutrition. Or some people would say you look like a drug addict. I also don't know what happened. And also, throughout all this growth, I'm able to share my journey with a lot of people. And then sometimes I feel that, to be really honest, why would I be given this opportunity? Yeah. And I always believe that if someone like me can do it, everybody else can do it for sure. For sure. And I'm not even from social media background, or if, like what we people call influencer, but I had the opportunity to share how I use social media to build my business in front of 4,000 people. Where last time, if I talk to 10 people, I would squeeze my pen. Jason would know I would sweat. And then I have all the weird gestures, so weird. Okay. And you can grow. And the car on the left was the car that went through all the moments with me, and I got into 3 accidents in a year. But you know what? When I sold it, I was crying, because so much of memories and ups and downs. It reminds me of my journey, but it got too old already, so I have to change lah. Huh? And I'm really looking forward to move into new place next year as well. And I already think about what kind of feel I want. I want to be able to have a space to host people. Maybe one day can invite you guys, and then to do my workout. Yeah. And also, we have many roles, all of us. But how well do we play them? My goal of when I was in a job was to make money so I can bring my parents to vacation. So I did that about once or twice. But since then, I started to qualify for free vacation from Herbalife Nutrition. So for the coaches, if you work hard on a yearly basis, we have vacation that we can bring them to. And I cherish all these moments with them, that I bring both of them to go, and every year they would look forward, and they are my drive. Sometimes I don't even know how I'm gonna make it happen, but because I already promised them I'll bring them somewhere, I have to make it happen no matter what. So one tip: if today you're looking for a change, declare it to the person that you can't let them down. Trust me, by hook or by crook, you will find a way to make it happen. And this was in Korea. There's some more places like Taiwan. We're supposed to go Barcelona last year, but no problem. And my dad loves books. Can you see on the top right 2 pictures? When he's in a bookstore, he can literally forget that he has a daughter. I think I can say that, because he just didn't want to go back to hotel. He can spend hours and the whole day there. But I took this photo because I find that he's so cute, and I want to make it as a memory that I did it, and I can do this for them. And the photo on the bottom, it was so cold, by the way. And my mom suddenly can stand cold. She's someone that cannot stand cold. Because she can wear that her first time to Korea. And then no matter how cold, she asked me to take photo for her. That's so cute. And that was another time where, we just surprised my dad's birthday all the way in Penang. Yeah. And one last thing is that never settle, because I was inspired to set bigger goal, to work harder and to dream bigger. And again, some of you, if you haven't watched this, I'm not sure if it's still available on Netflix, you can go and watch. It's called Inside Bill's Brain. It's a very short series, but from there I got inspired that the amount of problems he's able to solve because he's able to. And that is what you can do, what we can do to solve problems, your own problems, your family problems, and then after that, bigger and bigger problems. So remember the jar, right? And then every single month, I would dedicate a portion to actually donate to different organizations that I believed in their mission. One is the environmental, which is planting trees. Okay, next time when I'm gone, at least I planted thousands or uh, hundreds of thousands of trees, right? I did something good for the earth. And then also the pollution stuff, because I feel that no matter what, if the planet is gone, everything is gone, right? And then also Herbalife Nutrition Foundation, it also takes care of children who need nutrition, education, and sometimes for disaster reliefs as well, and a couple more. So in conjunction with what I'm talking about, tomorrow will be the end of our Together We Rise charity campaign. So feel free to talk to your coach how you can be part of it as well. All right, and then we're gonna wrap up the charity campaign. So last but not least, my backbone has always been all of you, and also the team of passionate coaches, which is so looking forward to go back to all of these where we used to go for coaches retreat. We fly to overseas for events, and then all the crazy moments. But behind all the craziness that you see, every single one of them has their story that you could never imagine. And also being on this journey, I grew to learn to appreciate everyone's journey and background. It doesn't matter where you are from, and also your background. This place is for everybody if you're looking for a change. Yeah. And sometimes I wonder, where would I be if I hadn't say yes to my coaches in the first place? If I hadn't say yes to everything that they share with me, I would probably still look like a drug addict, or maybe now become someone who's overweight because age is catching up. I'm 31 years old this year, and definitely no self-love. Yeah, I had no self-love at all. I used to be very negative, very shy, but very bad-tempered. Funny, right? And everything was always bad thoughts first last time, and definitely still very shy. I'm the kind of person last time, if you can put me in a corner and don't talk to me, that would be the best, because I don't like to talk and I don't like to make friends. Okay, super introvert. But the changes in me also shocked Coach Ryan, that what happened to my friend. My friend changed because of this place. If this can do this to her, I can do it as well. That's how he decided to trust in the process, and then also embark on a journey as a coach. So this one, I think it describes my journey, which is just say yes to the first step, and then the next and the next, because eventually your big vision will be reviewed. Sometimes you don't really know why yet or what you're working towards, but because step by step, it will just become clearer and clearer to you. And of course, with hard work. I was searching for 500 ringgit in the beginning just to sustain my own lifestyle. But because of this journey, this personal development and the growth and the hard work, it will come back to you tenfold, hundredfold, and it's giving me almost 100-fold of what I was asking for. And to all of you here, we truly appreciate you guys are like a family to all the coaches. There's so many choices out there, but you guys are here for a reason. So continue to work hard on yourself and then work towards what you want. And if you are really looking for a change, talk to the person who invited you here. And then at tomorrow 3:30 p.m. we're gonna have a session to share with beginners or new friends on how they could kickstart with very baby step. But my recommendation, looking and learning is one thing, but taking action is another. Okay, if it's in your blood or you're so used to always just asking more, finding out more, but without taking action, it is time for a change. Okay, remember, don't focus on 0 to 100, but 0 to 10. All right, thank you so much, everybody. Dino, can we take a group photo?
Yes, we can.